peanut butter and chocolate. Two flavors so perfect together, it's almost criminal. But while most candy makers settle for just good enough, one brand turned that combo into a cultural icon, Reese's. And this isn't just a candy, it's a $3 billion empire fueled by crunchy legumes, smooth chocolate, and one game-changing mistake made in a tiny 1920s basement. In this video, we're peeling back the wrapper on the world's most beloved candy and taking you deep inside the chocolate-scented heart of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Get ready to see how raw peanuts become a Reese's cup, how industrial chocolate is crafted with scientific precision, and how a single oops led to a flavor so legendary it's never been changed. So, how does a humble peanut turn into a worldwide obsession? Let's find out. It all starts with a bang, in the form of a 2,500-pound super sack. Each week, towering bags of runner peanuts roll into the Reese's production facility in Hershey, Pennsylvania. These aren't your average supermarket peanuts. They're sourced mainly from southeastern states like Georgia and Alabama and are chosen for their oil content, crunch factor, and flavor profile. Each bag carries over 2 million peanuts. And once they arrive, there's no turning back. Forklifts with hydraulic lifts grab the sacks, haul them above a massive hopper, and just like that, an avalanche of peanuts crashes down into the system. Welcome to Peanut Boot Camp. The nuts hit a vibrating cleaning station known as a de-stoner, which shakes away rocks, shells, and anything that isn't pure peanut. This step is critical, not just for flavor, but for safety and texture. After that, it's time to turn up the heat. Inside a tunnel roaster the size of a bus, peanuts tumble through dry heat for 35 minutes at precisely 289 degrees Fahrenheit. But here's where it gets interesting. Reese's doesn't just roast, they over-roast on purpose. That signature toasted, gritty, unmistakable Reese's flavor, it was born from an accident. Back in 1928, a malfunctioning roaster in H.B. Reese's original workshop scorched a batch of peanuts. But instead of tossing them, Reese gave it a taste. The bold, nutty flavor was better, more intense, more addictive. And it's still the formula they use today. Once roasted, the peanuts exit the oven golden brown, sizzling, and ready for a transformation. They enter a blancher, a vibrating belt with rough ridges that scrubs off their papery skins. Jets of air blast the loosened skins away, leaving behind the smooth, clean kernels. Two enormous steel plates, spinning just millimeters apart, crush the roasted peanuts into a rich, warm butter. Think of it like a nutty lava stream. It's thick, it's fragrant, and it's on a mission. That stream gets piped through a steel maze to a mixing zone where the real alchemy begins. Salt, sugar, a dab of hydrogenated oil. These additions do more than flavor the mix. They give it structure and longevity. No oily separation here, just the silky peanut butter Reese's lovers expect. Some of this peanut butter will go into jars sold in stores, but the majority? It's destined for the inner sanctum, the Reese's cup. Before it's candy ready, the peanut butter filling goes through one final transformation. It gets vacuum pumped into massive mixers where it's blended again, but this time with reinforcements. Powdered sugar thickens the texture, emulsifiers ensure stability, and a hit of something called cellulose dextrose turbocharges the roasted flavor, punching up that nutty hit fans crave. At this stage, the filling has a thick, moldable quality. It's smooth, sweet, slightly grainy, the perfect contrast to the silky chocolate that's coming next. You'd think Reese's uses the same chocolate as a standard Hershey bar, but nope, this is custom cocoa. It starts with fresh cocoa beans ground into a chocolate liquor. Then comes the magic formula: sugar, cocoa butter, milk, and powdered lactose. All that's blended into a coarse chocolate powder known as crumb. Think chocolatey wet sand. The The crumb heads to a refining machine where it's milled down into a whisper-soft powder, and then into the conch, a device that turns it back into a luscious liquid chocolate, while emulsifiers like lecithin and PGPR are added to get that smooth melt-in-your-mouth texture. But the final step? Tempering. It's a process of heating and cooling the chocolate to lock in that glossy finish and perfect snap. The chocolate you bite into isn't just poured, it's engineered. Now that both peanut butter and chocolate are ready, it's time for the magic to happen at breakneck speed. First, paper liners are dropped into round trays moving along a conveyor belt. These are the tiny black cups we all know, and they've got to be perfectly placed. Workers watch carefully to make sure there are no doubles, no misfires. Then, the chocolate starts to flow. From nozzles above, molten chocolate is piped into each liner, creating the base layer. A burst of air smooths it out, pushing it slightly up the sides, while the conveyor gently vibrates to help everything settle just right. Then, from a floor above, the peanut butter makes its entrance. Gravity feeds the warm filling into a machine called an extruder. It slices the peanut butter into perfect plugs that drop squarely into the chocolate-lined trays. Another jiggle from the conveyor helps the filling snuggle into place. And now it's time for the crown jewel, the top chocolate layer. The final pour of chocolate cascades over each peanut butter plug, sealing the filling under a rich top layer. Another air blast smooths it into that signature dome shape. No ripples, no bubbles, just glossy, flawless chocolate. The cups move into a 35-foot-long cooling tunnel set to a chilly 55 degrees Fahrenheit. They glide through for 35 minutes, just enough time for the chocolate to set into its final form. That cool, creamy snap when you bite into a Reese's? It's all thanks to this tunnel. Once cooled, the trays of peanut butter cups head into the demolder machine. Robotic claws pick up each cup and transfer them onto the next conveyor, where they're neatly paired up. Because, let's face it, one Reese's is never enough. The paired cups are swiftly heat-sealed inside the iconic orange wrappers. These machines crank out over 800 packs per minute. That's nearly 500,000 Reese's every hour. Then, it's into cardboard boxes, onto refrigerated trucks, and out to stores across the globe. From school lunchboxes to Super Bowl commercials, these cups are everywhere. And for good reason. You might think once a Reese's cup is sealed, the job's done. But inside the Hershey factory, the final word always goes to quality control. And they don't mess around. Multiple times a day, trained inspectors pull random samples straight off the production line. Using precision tools and good old-fashioned taste buds, they evaluate texture, consistency, weight, shape, and flavor. If a cup has too much chocolate, too little peanut butter, or even the tiniest air bubble on the surface, it's out. The standards are exacting because the fans are passionate, and so are the candy makers. But this isn't just about appearances. One of the most critical quality control steps is temperature testing. If the chocolate hasn't tempered correctly, or if the peanut butter center didn't cool to the right firmness, it could throw off the entire balance of the candy. That perfect bite, the one that snaps, then melts in your mouth, is a delicate harmony, and Reese's engineers treat it like a science. Any batches that don't meet these standards, they're recycled and remelted, never wasted. Because here, every ingredient is valuable, and nothing leaves the line unless it's pure peanut butter and chocolate perfection. You wouldn't expect an industrial candy empire to be at the forefront of sustainability, but Reese's, under Hershey's leadership, is working to shift that narrative. Let's start with the peanuts. Most of the runners used in Reese's products are grown using crop rotation systems that reduce soil depletion and lower the need for artificial fertilizers. Many farms in Georgia and Alabama are moving toward regenerative agriculture practices, planting cover crops to maintain biodiversity and reduce carbon impact. Even in the roasting process, energy use is closely monitored. Heat is recycled from the roasters into adjacent facilities whenever possible, reducing gas and electric loads. And then there's the chocolate, because cocoa is a bigger environmental story. The Hershey Company has committed to 100% certified and sustainable cocoa by 2025, working with ethical sourcing programs like Rainforest Alliance and Cocoa Horizons. That means helping small farmers access training, fair wages, and community infrastructure so that every cocoa bean comes from a place of progress, not exploitation. Packaging is on the list too. That familiar orange wrapper? It's being re-engineered to use less plastic, and the company is exploring compostable and recyclable materials across their candy lineup. With millions of wrappers hitting the shelves daily, even tiny changes make a massive difference. Peanut butter cups are the crown jewel, sure, but Reese's isn't stopping there. Inside Hershey's research and development labs, nicknamed the Chocolate Lab by insiders, teams of scientists and flavor artists experiment with hundreds of variations on the original formula. Some stick close to the classic: dark chocolate, white chocolate, extra peanut butter. They also constantly innovate manufacturing techniques to increase precision. For example, newer extruders can now adjust the peanut butter plug shape in real time based on feedback from laser sensors scanning the line. If a cup's plug looks slightly off-center, the machine tweaks the extrusion flow immediately without stopping production. Let's rewind one last time to 1928. In the small town of Hershey, Pennsylvania, H.B. Reese, a former dairy employee, was experimenting in his basement with chocolate molds and leftover peanut butter. With 6 kids to feed, he needed something that would sell. He wrapped the little cups in wax paper, sold them door to door, and caught the attention of chocolate titan Milton Hershey himself. That's when the story exploded. By 1963, Hershey's had officially acquired the Reese's brand, and the peanut butter cup took off nationally. Today, more than 80 Reese's products exist, from snack-sized minis to candy bars, cereals, ice cream, and even seasonal shapes like eggs and pumpkins that sell faster than the originals. Reese's now drives over $3 billion in annual sales. It's Hershey's #1 brand, and according to multiple retail studies, it's also America's favorite candy, beating out giants like M&M's and Snickers. The real legacy isn't just about numbers, it's about how one small idea, one modest basement experiment, sparked a candy that feels personal, nostalgic, familiar, something you sneak from your kid's Halloween stash or stash in your desk drawer for emergency cravings. It's the taste of childhood, the taste of movie nights, the taste of something that never lets you down. So next time you see that orange package on a shelf, remember, behind every Reese's cup is a peanut's journey, a chocolate lab, and a perfectly choreographed dance of flavor, science, and story.
Imagine biting into a crisp, chocolate-covered wafer bar, the perfect harmony of crunch and creaminess in every bite. Now, what if I told you that every Kit Kat bar you enjoy is a product of meticulous planning, cutting-edge technology, and a fascinating global effort? Kit Kat isn't just a treat, it's a marvel of modern food production. In today's video, we'll uncover the secrets behind how Kit Kat is made in a factory using the most advanced technologies, starting from its humble beginnings in cocoa farms to the carefully calibrated machines that craft each bar to perfection. Stick around, it's going to be a sweet ride. The Kit Kat story begins in York, England in 1935, when Rowntree's introduced the world to Rowntree's Chocolate Crisp. The name Kit Kat was officially adopted in 1937. During World War II, the bar became a staple snack for soldiers, thanks to its high energy content and portability. Fast forward to today, Kit Kat is manufactured globally by Nestlé, except in the US where Hershey handles production. The slogan, "Have a break, have a Kit Kat," has become a cultural touchstone, emphasizing its role as a moment of indulgence amidst a busy day. Kit Kat's journey begins in the tropical regions of West Africa, home to some of the world's finest cocoa beans. Nestlé sources its cocoa through the Nestlé Cocoa Plan, ensuring sustainable and ethical practices. Farmers carefully harvest ripe cocoa pods, splitting them open to extract the beans. These beans undergo fermentation, a natural process that enhances their flavor profile before being sun-dried to perfection. Once ready, the beans are transported to processing facilities where they're roasted and transformed into cocoa mass, the base for Kit Kat's smooth milk chocolate. High-quality milk is integral to Kit Kat's creamy chocolate coating. Dairy farms in regions like the US Midwest or European Alps supply fresh milk that's processed under stringent quality standards. The milk is pasteurized and condensed to achieve the rich, creamy consistency essential for chocolate production. The light, crispy wafers that define Kit Kat are crafted from wheat flour. This flour comes from sustainably grown wheat, primarily sourced from North America and Europe. Farmers use precision farming techniques to ensure high yields while minimizing environmental impact. Sugar is a key ingredient in Kit Kat, adding sweetness to both the chocolate and the wafers. Nestlé uses a mix of beet sugar and cane sugar, sourced from farms that practice sustainable agriculture. The sugar undergoes refining processes to remove impurities, resulting in a pure, crystalline product. The wafer starts as a simple dough made from wheat flour, water, sugar, and a leavening agent. Advanced mixing machines ensure that the dough achieves a smooth, consistent texture. This step is crucial for creating the thin, crispy layers Kit Kat is known for. The dough is spread onto large baking plates and fed into conveyor belt ovens. These ovens are meticulously calibrated to maintain an even temperature, ensuring the wafers are uniformly baked to a light golden brown. The aroma of freshly baked wafers fills the factory, a sensory reminder of the magic being crafted. After baking, the wafer sheets are cooled on industrial racks to prevent them from becoming brittle. Once cooled, automated cutters slice the wafers into uniform segments. These segments will later be layered to form the core of the Kit Kat bar. The factory receives cocoa beans that have been fermented and dried. These beans are roasted to develop their rich, chocolatey flavor. The roasting process is precise, with temperatures and durations tailored to each batch to achieve the desired flavor intensity. The roasted beans are cracked open, and the nibs, the edible part of the bean, are ground into a thick, liquid cocoa mass. This mass is combined with sugar, milk, and cocoa butter in large mixing vats. The resulting chocolate mixture is both rich in flavor and velvety in texture. Conching is a refining process where the chocolate mixture is continuously mixed for hours to enhance its flavor and texture. During this process, the chocolate achieves its signature smoothness and loses any bitter notes. Tempering is the final step in chocolate preparation. This process involves heating and cooling the chocolate to precise temperatures, ensuring it solidifies with a glossy finish and a satisfying snap. Tempering also prevents the chocolate from developing a dull, grayish appearance over time. The wafer segments are layered with a thin coating of chocolate to create a sturdy yet light structure. This layering process is performed with high-speed machinery that ensures precision and consistency. Once layered, the wafer sheets are cut into the iconic fingers that make up a Kit Kat bar. Advanced sensors guide the cutting process to ensure uniformity across thousands of bars. The cut wafer fingers pass through a curtain of liquid chocolate in a process known as enrobing. This step ensures that each bar is fully coated with chocolate, creating the smooth outer shell that defines Kit Kat. Every Kit Kat bar undergoes rigorous quality checks. Cameras and sensors detect defects such as uneven coating, air bubbles, or incorrect dimensions. Bars that don't meet quality standards are removed from the production line. The enrobed bars are sent to cooling chambers, where they're solidified under controlled conditions. This step ensures the chocolate retains its glossy finish and structural integrity. Once cooled, the bars are wrapped in Kit Kat's signature red and white packaging. The wrapping machines are designed to work at lightning speed, wrapping hundreds of bars per minute while ensuring each package is airtight to preserve freshness. Wrap bars are grouped into boxes, which are then stacked onto pallets for transport. Automated palletizers arrange the boxes efficiently, readying them for shipment to distribution centers. Kit Kat bars are transported via a sophisticated logistics network. Refrigerated trucks ensure the chocolate doesn't melt during transit, maintaining its quality until it reaches store shelves. At retail locations, the bars are displayed in prominent positions, often near checkout counters, making them irresistible to consumers. Nestlé is committed to making Kit Kat carbon neutral by 2025. This involves reducing emissions across its supply chain, using renewable energy in factories, and supporting reforestation projects. Through initiatives like the Nestlé Cocoa Plan, the company also invests in cocoa farming communities, providing resources and education to improve livelihoods. And there you have it, the incredible journey of a Kit Kat bar, from cocoa farms to your fingertips. Each bar is a testament to the harmony of tradition and technology, bringing joy to millions worldwide. Next time you snap into a Kit Kat, you'll know the care and innovation that went into creating it.
Ever snap open a bar of Cadbury Dairy Milk and wonder how a humble cocoa bean transforms into that smooth, addictive chocolate we all crave? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the precise, factory-scale secrets behind one of the world's most iconic milk chocolates. From lush tropical plantations where cocoa beans are harvested to the high-tech machinery that refines every batch to perfection, we'll reveal how Cadbury blends tradition, innovation, and ethical sourcing to deliver that signature velvety bite. Whether you're a die-hard chocolate lover or a curious foodie, buckle up as we dive deep into the irresistible world of Cadbury Dairy Milk, where sweet indulgence meets meticulous manufacturing. The journey of the cocoa bean. Every Cadbury Dairy Milk bar starts with cocoa beans grown in tropical regions along the equator, primarily in Africa, South America, and parts of Asia. Farmers carefully harvest ripe cocoa pods, extract the beans, and ferment them for several days to enhance flavor. Once fermentation is complete, the beans are sun-dried to lock in their characteristic aromas. These cocoa beans are then shipped to Cadbury's factories, where modern chocolate manufacturing methods elevate them into the smooth bars we recognize. From the very beginning, maintaining consistent bean quality is vital. Each bean sets the groundwork for Cadbury's signature taste. Sorting and cleaning the beans. Upon arrival, cocoa beans enter an extensive sorting and cleaning process. Conveyors move them through inspection systems that remove foreign materials, like stones or twigs. Some factories use magnets or high-tech imaging to capture even minute contaminants, ensuring only top-quality beans progress. Cleanliness here is paramount for food safety and final flavor. By the time the beans leave this stage, they're uniform, pristine, and ready for roasting. Roasting the beans. Roasting is where the beans develop their deep chocolatey aroma. Industrial-scale roasters expose them to controlled temperatures, typically ranging between 120 degrees Celsius and 150 degrees Celsius. This heat triggers the Maillard reaction, reducing bitterness and intensifying flavor. The timing of this roast is a fine art. Too brief and the beans might lack depth, too long and they risk a burnt flavor. The roasted beans emerge fragrant and full-bodied, the perfect foundation for the milk chocolate journey ahead. Cracking and winnowing, nib separation. After roasting, specialized machines crack open the cocoa beans, revealing the valuable cocoa nibs. Winnowing separates these nibs from their brittle shells by blowing away the lighter pieces. Packed with cocoa butter and solids, these nibs are the true essence of chocolate. For Cadbury, ensuring nib consistency is crucial to guarantee a uniform flavor and texture in every dairy milk bar. Once winnowed, the nibs are primed for grinding, where they'll transform into cocoa mass. Grinding and forming cocoa mass. In large grinders, the nibs turn into a thick paste called cocoa mass, sometimes referred to as cocoa liquor, though it contains 0 alcohol. This stage involves intense pressure that releases the nib's natural cocoa butter. The resulting cocoa mass carries a robust chocolate flavor and aroma, the bedrock for all chocolate products. From here, Cadbury has several options: storing cocoa mass in heated tanks, pressing it to extract more cocoa butter, or moving straight into milk chocolate production, depending on the recipe. Pressing for cocoa butter, optional. Certain Cadbury Dairy Milk formulations call for extra cocoa butter to achieve that trademark creamy mouthfeel. In these instances, hydraulic presses squeeze cocoa mass to extract pure cocoa butter, which is filtered for clarity. The leftover solids become press cake, later milled into cocoa powder for other products. By balancing cocoa solids and cocoa butter precisely, Cadbury refines its chocolate's taste, smoothness, and melt-in-your-mouth texture. Blending key ingredients. This is where Cadbury Dairy Milk truly takes shape. The factory blends cocoa mass and cocoa butter with sugar and milk, often powdered or condensed, under tight quality controls. Industrial mixers combine these ingredients until the mixture resembles a dense, chocolatey dough. Temperature regulation is critical. You don't want to scorch the milk or caramelize the sugar prematurely. Different markets may prefer variations in sweetness or cocoa intensity. Ultimately, every ingredient is carefully measured to reflect Cadbury's commitment to flavor consistency on a massive scale. Refining the chocolate mixture. Refining removes any gritty texture. Large steel rollers repeatedly press the chocolate mixture, grinding sugar and milk solids down to microscopic sizes, often around 20 microns. This ensures every bite of a dairy milk bar feels luxuriously smooth. Without refining, chocolate can taste grainy or rough. By uniformly dispersing sugar, milk, and cocoa butter molecules, Cadbury achieves a melt-in-your-mouth sensation that fans have come to crave. Refining also readies the chocolate for the next critical phase: conching. Conching for flavor and smoothness. Conching is the heart of chocolate making. Named after the shell-like shape of original concha machines, this stage involves vigorously agitating and aerating the refined chocolate for anywhere from a few hours to a few days. The process expels acidic compounds, mellows out any off flavors, and allows the mixture to develop its full, rich profile. Conching also coats the tiniest particles with cocoa butter, improving texture. For mass-produced milk chocolate like Cadbury Dairy Milk, conching times are carefully calibrated for maximum flavor development without losing production efficiency. The end result? A glossy, aromatic, liquid chocolate base. Tempering the chocolate. Before being molded, the chocolate must be tempered, a precise cycle of heating and cooling that stabilizes cocoa butter crystals. Properly tempered chocolate has a signature snap, an appealing sheen, and increased resistance to bloom, the white powdery film that appears if chocolate is incorrectly set. Industrial tempering machines gradually bring chocolate to optimal working temperatures, usually between 29 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius for milk chocolate. Consistency here is non-negotiable. A perfectly tempered Cadbury Dairy Milk Bar is smooth to the touch, bright in appearance, and cracks cleanly when you break off a piece. Molding, cooling, and shaping. With the chocolate at its ideal temperature, automated systems pour it into molds shaped for bars, novelty forms, or other Cadbury products. Vibrating conveyors remove air bubbles and ensure uniform thickness. Molds then travel through cooling tunnels, carefully chilled to let the chocolate solidify evenly. When it emerges, each bar is set with a glossy surface and that legendary creamy interior. Once cooled, the chocolate can be gently released from the molds, preserving the flawless shape Cadbury is known for. Quality control and consistency. No bar reaches the wrapper without passing stringent quality checks. Automated sensors verify bar weight, size, and shape, while human inspectors conduct flavor and texture assessments. Technicians routinely measure cocoa butter content, acidity levels, and more to verify that each batch meets Cadbury standards. At times, random samples are tasted to confirm the recognizable flavor. By analyzing data and adhering to strict protocols, Cadbury factories ensure their dairy milk bars taste the same, whether you buy one in the UK, India, or Australia. Wrapping and packaging. Once approved, the bars head to high-speed wrapping lines. First, a protective foil or film preserves freshness by blocking out moisture and contaminants. Then comes the signature purple Cadbury wrapper, displaying product information, branding, and nutritional details. These high-tech machines can wrap hundreds of bars per minute with minimal human handling, reducing contamination risks. The packaging does more than look good. It acts as a protective shield that keeps your dairy milk bar fresh from the factory all the way to your hands. Global distribution and reach. With each bar sealed, factory workers stack them on pallets and prepare them for local or international shipment. Cadbury's expansive distribution network uses climate-controlled trucks and shipping containers to maintain product quality, even in hot climates. In many regions, local partnerships guarantee consistent availability on store shelves. This seamless logistics operation, spanning warehouses, import regulations, and shipping routes, ensures Cadbury Dairy Milk remains a global household name. No matter where you travel, you can likely find that familiar purple wrapper and indulge in the same creamy bite. Sustainability and ethical sourcing. Modern consumers demand products that respect both people and the planet. Cadbury responds through programs like Cocoa Life, part of Mondelez International's cocoa sustainability efforts. This initiative supports cocoa farmers in adopting responsible farming practices, reducing deforestation, and improving community livelihoods. Traceability measures track beans from farm to factory, ensuring ethical labor and discouraging child labor. Meanwhile, Cadbury's factories continue to refine methods to lower water usage, decrease emissions, and limit waste. By merging innovation and responsibility, Cadbury acknowledges that securing the future of chocolate depends on nurturing the environment and the communities that grow its most critical ingredient. Chocolate's emotional connection. For millions worldwide, chocolate, especially a Cadbury Dairy Milk bar, evokes memories of warmth, celebration, or a simple indulgence. This emotional bond underscores the significance of the manufacturing process. It's more than transforming cocoa into a sweet treat. It's about creating moments of joy and comfort. Behind each foil-wrapped bar is a collaboration among farmers, factory technicians, and countless employees working to deliver that familiar, cherished flavor. Tasting a piece of Cadbury Dairy Milk can transport you to childhood or spark a shared moment among friends. Proof that something as simple as chocolate can unite us all. Conclusion. Cadbury Dairy Milk's journey from raw cocoa bean to melt-in-your-mouth chocolate demonstrates the blend of tradition, science, and ingenuity fueling mass chocolate manufacturing. We've traced how cocoa beans are cultivated, fermented and dried, then meticulously roasted, ground, and pressed for the ideal balance of cocoa solids and cocoa butter. We've seen how industrial-scale mixers, refiners, and conch machines meticulously shape flavor and texture, culminating in the precise art of tempering and molding. And finally, we explored the importance of packaging, distribution, and ethical sourcing, confirming Cadbury's commitment to quality and sustainability. The next time you savor a piece of Cadbury Dairy Milk, you'll know the journey that crafted your moment of bliss and the dedication behind every creamy bite.
These sugary golden rings of happiness have been an integral part of snack culture for generations. From the simple glazed classics to gourmet creations topped with bacon or drizzled with caramel, donuts hold a special place in the hearts and stomachs of people everywhere. But have you ever wondered how these beloved treats go from raw ingredients to the box you grab from your favorite store or cafe? Stick around and we'll take you on a journey from the farm to the factory and finally to your hands. Before we dive into the process, Let's rewind a bit and explore the roots of this iconic snack. The story of donuts dates back to the early 19th century when Dutch settlers in America introduced fried dough treats called oliebollen. However, it wasn't until 1847 that the donut as we know it was born. Captain Hanson Gregory, an American sailor, is credited with inventing the donut hole. Frustrated by the uneven cooking of solid dough, he used a tin can to punch out the center, ensuring his donuts fried evenly. Fast forward to the 1920s, and donuts hit the big time with the invention of the first automated donut machine by Adolf Levitt. His machine revolutionized production, making donuts more accessible and solidifying their status as a staple in American culture. To understand how donuts are made, we need to start with their essential ingredients. These components might seem simple, but each one plays a critical role in creating the perfect donut. Flour. Every donut begins with high-quality wheat flour. This flour, typically milled from hard red wheat, provides the structure and elasticity needed for that soft, fluffy bite. Wheat is grown in vast fields across states like Kansas and North Dakota. Farmers carefully tend to their crops, ensuring the wheat is harvested at peak ripeness. Once harvested, the wheat heads are milled into fine flour, ready to be shipped to donut factories. Sugar. The sweetness of a donut comes from sugar, often derived from sugarcane or sugar beets. Sugarcane grows in warm, sunny states like Florida, while sugar beets thrive in cooler regions. After harvesting, the sugar undergoes refining to achieve the crystal-clear sweetness we love. Eggs. Eggs are a crucial ingredient, adding richness and helping the dough rise. These come from poultry farms that prioritize freshness and quality. Once collected, eggs are cleaned, checked for quality, and shipped to factories under strict temperature control. Milk and butter. The creamy texture and subtle richness of donuts owe a lot to milk and butter. These dairy products are sourced from farms where cows are milked daily. The milk is pasteurized and turned into butter or cream for large-scale production. Yeast or baking powder. Finally, the magic of leavening. Yeast or baking powder ensures donuts are light and airy. Factories use specially cultivated yeast strains or baking powders designed for industrial baking. Once all the ingredients arrive at the factory, the real magic begins. Mixing ingredients. Massive industrial mixers blend the flour, sugar, eggs, milk, butter, and yeast with water. These mixers are capable of preparing hundreds of pounds of dough at once, ensuring consistency in every batch. The mixing process is timed precisely to achieve the perfect texture. Not too sticky, not too dry. Kneading. Next, the dough goes through automated kneading machines. This step develops the gluten, giving the dough its elasticity and smooth texture. The machines mimic the process of hand kneading, but at a much faster pace. Resting the dough. After kneading, the dough needs to rest. This crucial step allows the yeast to activate, causing the dough to rise. Resting times vary depending on the recipe, but in large factories, this process is carefully controlled in temperature-regulated proofing chambers. Once the dough is ready, it's time to shape it into those iconic rings. Cutting shapes. The dough is rolled out into large sheets, then fed into rotary cutting machines. These machines punch out perfect circles with holes in the center. Factories can adjust the cutter settings to produce different shapes, like filled donuts or twists. The hole. Let's not forget the donut holes. These little morsels are saved and fried separately, becoming mini treats on their own. The shaped dough is now ready to meet hot oil. Frying process. The donuts are gently transferred to automated fryers filled with oil heated to a precise temperature, usually around 375 degrees Fahrenheit. They float on the surface, flipping automatically to ensure even cooking on both sides. Within minutes, the pale dough transforms into golden brown perfection. Oil management. The The oil is continuously filtered to remove debris and maintain its quality, ensuring each donut is fried in clean oil. Freshly fried donuts are delicious, but it's the glaze and toppings that make them irresistible. Glazing station. As the donuts cool slightly, they pass through a glazing station. Picture a waterfall of glossy, sugary glaze cascading over the donuts as they move along a conveyor belt. Toppings. For donuts with sprinkles, powdered sugar, or chocolate, additional topping stations handle the job. Machines sprinkle decorations uniformly, ensuring every donut looks just right. No donut leaves the factory without passing through rigorous quality checks. Inspection. High-tech cameras and sensors scan the donuts for consistency in subtleties, shape, and color. Any donuts that don't meet the factory standards are removed. Testing. Every so often, human inspectors sample donuts for taste and texture. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Finally, the donuts are ready to be packaged and shipped. Packaging process. Once cooled, the donuts are placed into boxes or bags. Machines ensure the packaging is airtight, locking in freshness for their journey to stores. Logistics. The packaged donuts are loaded onto refrigerated trucks and distributed to grocery stores, bakeries, and coffee shops. Whether it's a local cafe or a national chain, the logistics network ensures donuts arrive fresh and ready to eat. Did you know that the largest donut factory can produce over 20 million donuts in a single day? Or that some factories use AI technology to develop new flavors and designs? From classic glaze to maple bacon, the possibilities are endless in the modern donut world. And there you have it, the incredible journey of a donut, from the wheat fields and sugarcane farms to the automated fryers and glazing fountains. The next time you bite into one, take a moment to appreciate the science, artistry, and effort behind every delicious ring. If this sweet journey left you craving more, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at your favorite foods.